You will never believe to whom this groom professed his love at his wedding ceremony. Most wedding days entail emotions flowing through the whole room, where tears of joy are shed and everyone joins in to celebrate the love shared by the bride and groom. Jefferson and Jessica are a Portuguese couple life brought together by accident, a happy accident, as they both loved to call their paths crossing. They fell in love, and it didn't take long for them to realize that they were each other's soulmate. They decided to take the next step and become one entity until death tears them apart. Every girl dreams of her big day and plans for it since her childhood. Jessica was no exception. She has always dreamed of a princess gown that would make her big day fairy-like. She stunned on a white dress, a magnificent tiara, and a veil. She looked like a real-life Disney princess, with Jefferson looking handsome in his suit. They were the perfect match. The wedding ceremony was absolutely beautiful, and even the guests were looking their best. Everyone was happy for the bride and groom, and some even shed tears of happiness for them. However, no one knew that this groom was about to give a surprise to all the attendees. He had already prepared to have a revealing confession during the ceremony. When it was time to exchange their vows, the room was draped in a holy silence. The crowd listened intently as they awaited what Jefferson was going to say. The groom was aware that this would probably be one of the most important moments of his life. Everything was going smoothly, and the guests were having a good time too. When the ceremony started, everything was going normally, like any other wedding ceremony. But soon, Jefferson, the groom, started showing signs of nervousness. His hands were visibly trembling as he started his speech. Jefferson's best man was standing next to him, with a video camera ready to record. The moment the couple was about to exchange their vows, he began recording. None of the guests or even the bride was suspicious about what Jefferson had in store. As the best man started recording the video, the couple began exchanging their vows. The bride went first, promising her future husband an undying love and devotion. The crowd noticed that there was growing tension getting hold of the groom. It was quite clear that he was about to say something very important. He proceeded with his speech, stopped, took a long pause, then started to speak again. The crowd couldn't understand why the groom was so stressed to say his vows. Jefferson must have been practicing for months to have this speech. Like all grooms do, this was something very important to him, and he was obviously prepared. So why the shake? The bride was certain that he definitely had something special to say. She put her trust in him, confident that he was going to say something meaningful, something along the lines of her vows. Everyone was happy. The bride and groom were exchanging their vows and promises. Jessica and Jefferson's wedding almost seemed like a real-life fairy tale to many. She was certainly not aware of the groom's surprise, one that would leave her in awe for a while. As the best man continued to film everything, the groom was showing signs of nervousness yet again. He had just told everyone that he had something to say. He made a confession about the fact that there was someone else in the room he truly loved. The guests were astounded. Who could this be, and why was she in the room at his wedding ceremony? Jessica and Jefferson were inseparable since the day they met. They were soulmates in everything they did together. Jessica was confident that Jefferson was the one for her and that they would end up with each other forever. There was a chance now that their love story had been a big lie. She was there waiting to be humiliated by the man she thought she'd be spending the rest of her days with. She kept her tears from falling, but deep inside, she was crumbling, her world was falling apart. As Jefferson was talking about the person that he loved, he took his eyes away from his bride. He was scanning the room, looking for the person he was talking about. Why would someone he loves, or quite possibly an ex-girlfriend, be present there on the day of their wedding? Jefferson even went as far as to claim that this person would be able to make all his dreams come true. He was not scared to go ahead and confess that this person was someone he absolutely loved and was one of the most important people in his life. It was clear that this was not a prank. Jefferson was indeed talking about someone who was present right in the hall, someone he had much love for. Jessica was stunned, and she, along with every member of the crowd, remained silent in awe. Everyone who knew the couple was certain that there was nothing that could break them apart. Was there something odd in their relationship that they were keeping a secret? As everyone waited for Jefferson to clear the air, the tension was rising and everyone was waiting impatiently to see who the mysterious woman was. The groom was, in fact, talking about another woman who goes by the name Giovanna. She would turn out to play a vital role in this whole wedding ceremony. The other woman was actually Giovanna, Jessica's adorable daughter. She was her daughter from a previous relationship. Giovanna would be Jefferson's stepdaughter officially after the wedding. It was the perfect time for this dad to express all the things that he had wanted to say to her. Jefferson must have really held little Giovanna close to his heart because he was very uninhibited to go all out for her. Jefferson then proceeded to kneel down in front of the shocked little girl. She, just like every other person who was present there, was pleasantly surprised that the groom would do such a thing. There were a lot of things Jefferson wanted to say to his future stepdaughter. To start off his speech, Jefferson started listing all of the things he found annoying about Giovanna. He mentioned that the things that she did to bug him included her poking him and eating his food. He was teasing her just like a normal dad would, and everyone enjoyed looking at them. After he noted down all the things she gets annoyed about little Giovanna, Jefferson went on to talk about all the promises he plans to keep as her father. He said, "If I could ask God anything, it would be to have you as my daughter. I would be the proudest father in the world to have such a beautiful, intelligent, and educated daughter like you." All the things that Jefferson spoke that day were indeed beautiful and heartfelt. He told Giovanna during his speech that if he could have any wish of his come true, it would be that she became his official daughter. The rest of the people witnessing the speech were in full awe and could not hold back their tears. The groom told Giovanna that he feels like she is in fact like his very own child, that the love flowing from him is true and pure. He also made a promise to love, protect, and help her. The bride, Jessica, could not fight the tears and was in shambles at the back. Jefferson ended his speech by lastly telling his stepdaughter, "I love you." His voice was shaking and he was also evidently starting to cry as well. He broke down and was so overwhelmed with all the emotions he was experiencing after such speech. Giovanna took the microphone and everyone waited to hear what she had to say. She thanked her new father for what he said, and it was clear she felt the same way. The wedding took a turn that nobody expected to witness at all. However, it was a positive turn of events that everyone present at the ceremony was glad to experience. It was hard for the guests to keep their tears from falling. Jefferson's speech was intense and everyone could feel the love he had for the two females in his life. When he got done with his speech, it was Giovanna's turn to speak. She first wiped her tears and looked straight into the eye of Jefferson, who was still kneeling in front. Giovanna was not so elaborate with her speech like her stepdad. She kept her speech very short and sweet. She expressed her gratitude towards Jefferson and spoke about it in a positive light too. She stated that even though he was not her biological father, she felt that he is a father of heart. A very touching proclamation coming from an 8-year-old. She gave her short speech wiping her tears from her face, and she looked incredibly happy to have a father in her life. Jefferson did not stand up and stayed on his knees in front of his stepdaughter. When the two of them had said what they wanted to say to each other, they left everyone present there crying because of the overwhelming love that this newly formed family had for each other. The groom and his lovely stepdaughter shared a warm embrace. This video of Jessica and Jefferson was posted in February 2017. This is indeed a very special video. Jefferson and Giovanna have expressed their feelings for one another in Portuguese, but even people who didn't speak it could understood what was going on. The YouTube clip posted began with the bride and the groom as they exchanged their wedding vows. Jessica and Jefferson were standing next to each other right there in the middle of a reception room. In attendance were all of their friends and family. The guests' faces became shocked as Jefferson shifted his speech to completely another topic, one no one would have expected. A wedding ceremony is something that every bride and groom want to perfect. It is a day that they would remember forever and also be associated with for the rest of their lives by the guests that attend. Jessica and Jefferson definitely had a memorable wedding day. The video went viral in a very short time and reached over 10 million views in less than 8 months. People cannot seem to get enough of the emotional cry they experience while watching this clip. All of the reaction that the video received online was overwhelmingly positive. Everyone was commenting and sharing their thoughts on the clip, and it was all coming from a place of appreciation and love. In the comment section, there were loads of congratulatory messages.